Hi. Getting my coffee ready. This is what I use. I don't know if I've ever shown this. It's a tea strainer, but I just put coffee grounds in it because then I can dump them in the compost really easily. It's cheap, it's fast, it's easy. It is several other adjectives. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I slept pretty well last night. I did stay up a little later than I had wanted to, but it happened. I don't know if I mentioned on the show, I picked up a weighted blanket. I've been reading about those and hearing about those, so I figured I'd give it a shot. The prices have come way, way down. So I've got this 15-pound weighted blanket, and I think I sleep better. I think, if nothing else, I don't move around as much. It just forces me to lay there. Because it's like I got somebody pressing down on me. I have a 15-pound one, which from what I've read is lighter than I should have, but I wanted to start cheap. So, yeah. Why was I up late? So, worked all day. We're going to come back to that in a minute. And then went and visited with some friends for a couple hours around dinner time. And I had more work to do. There's always more work to do. There's more work that I wanted to get done. So I ended up at, you guessed it, Panera, where I'm going to spend pretty much all day today. And then popped up to the gym because I'd been sitting in a chair all day. So wanted to move. Got on the treadmill for a little bit. Just walked. It was raining outside again. It was pretty much all day yesterday. So I wasn't walking outside. And then came home and had some food, watched a little bit of TV, went to bed like 11 o'clock, which is way past my bedtime. But that's okay. So yesterday, Martial Arts Radio had what should have been an amazing day of two very, very big name guests. However, one of those big name guests became the first person in the history of Martial Arts Radio to no-show 3 times. I am tempted to publicly state their name. I'm not going to, because I don't want, not that I care about this person and their feelings, but because I just don't want to be a jerk. I just don't know what it is about people that when they commit to something. Now, this was not, oh, hey, I'll try to make it. This was, yes, we're going to do this. I filled out the guest form. I accepted the calendar invitation. I've replied to the multiple emails you've sent me since we confirmed the date and time. And then they literally just didn't show up. I don't know. But the second interview I did, holy crap, came out great. It was awesome. Really, really good conversation with someone that, I gotta be honest. So, if you rewind even a year ago, when I got the opportunity to speak with a guest of this caliber, I would conduct myself differently. I would be nervous. I would let them drive the show. And I've learned that that's not what anybody wants. So I don't act differently. So here I am yesterday talking to this person who has been in a bunch of TV, bunch of movies. May not be a household name yet, but you certainly would recognize them and know the names of the projects they've been on. And likely soon will be. I think this person's really got the chops. But we ended up with a great conversation. And then after the show, we spent like another 20, 30 minutes talking. It was just really, really fun. And it almost made up for the first person blowing me off. So, today, I just got a ton of meetings. Meeting. Got to squeeze in helping somebody with their computer. Meeting. And then I'm going to trivia night with some friends. So we're gonna go see if we can crush people at trivia. Which, because of this group that's going, yes, we will. If we don't win, I'll be shocked. It's a smart group of us. So, I got some questions here. And some of these follow on yesterday's questions. What is your favorite Jet Li movie? You know, it's funny. I really like Jet Li as an actor, as a martial artist, as a martial arts actor, whatever you want to call him. But so much of what he's in blurs for me. I really like Forbidden Kingdom. Because that's one he did with Jackie Chan. I really liked Romeo Must Die. Trying to think if there's one that he's been in that I haven't liked. I prefer, like Jackie Chan, I prefer the westernized movies he's been in. I enjoy martial arts movies, but I really need a plot. I need something with a story. I can't do a lot of the cheesy acting, threading together fight scenes movies. Maybe I'm spoiled. I've taken out my earrings and my nose ring. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen that I have been playing around wearing a hoop. But because of a couple of these meetings being big deals, there's no jewelry in my face. When was the last time I took out jewelry for a meeting? Don't remember. That tells you something about the caliber of these meetings. Of the self-defense books you have read, which is your favorite? I don't know that I've read it. Let's see, have I read any self-defense books? My bookshelf is there. It's right there. So I could go look. It's pretty much full of books that guests from the show have sent me. I don't know that I've read martial arts books. I've read plenty of martial arts books. I don't know that I've read any books that I would call a self-defense book. No, and how many books out there really are self-defense books? There's one there's one about using a flashlight for self-defense. There's an inside joke. I wonder if Scott's watching. If Scott's watching, he's the only one that's going to get that. Right, keys in the fingers. I mean, there are a lot of self-defense concepts that we talk about. Scott is here that we've learned, and I'm sure some of them are addressed in books that I've read, but If somebody said, hey, here's a book on self-defense, I probably wouldn't read it. Now, there are some exceptions. There are some people that I've had the opportunity to speak with who I think are really good at presenting information. Tony Blauer, the collection of Krav Maga guys that we've had on the show. Scott saying that they're rarely page turners. Yeah, I see that. I think I have a book back there from David Kahn, who's been on the show. He's a Krav Maga guy. And he's one that I would imagine would write a good book. So I just don't have time for books. Do not make books a priority. TV is a priority over books, especially martial arts books, because martial arts is my life right now. It is my career. It is my hobby. It is so many things that when I watch TV, I don't even tend to watch martial arts stuff. It took me an embarrassing long amount of time. I just watched Triple Threat on Netflix like a week ago. Not that I didn't want to, but because you sit down and you read a book or you watch a movie, you watch TV, and you see people in it. It's like, oh, there are my friends, or my friend wrote this book, or I have to do a review on this, or I have to remember this scene because it's going to come up inevitably when I have a conversation with this person on the show. And I don't want it to come across that I'm complaining, but because of the extra pressures that exist for consuming martial arts media, it's not recreational for me. It reminds me a bit of how I felt when I would read in college or even high school. I had to read and pay attention in a way that I didn't recreationally because, what's going to be on the test? I have to remember this part. I have to be aware here, right? There's a self-defense section in the book that I'm writing that I took stock of how much I had done yesterday. And I've done much less than I thought I had. I'm actually starting with the audiobook. I've got an outline. I'm riffing on that for the audiobook. That'll be version 1 of the audiobook. We'll transcribe and edit that. That'll be the first paper version. And then we'll have that edited professionally and fill in the gaps. I will reread it, and that'll be version 2 of the audio. In case you wanted to know my process. Have you read Living the Martial Way? I feel like I have. Is that a Bruce Lee book? And then the Google autocomplete is very interesting. It was just suggesting something about an alpaca farm. Forrest Morgan. That's the cover. I have not read this. I've heard of it. Forrest Morgan, Lieutenant Colonel, retired U.S. Air Force. A manual for the way a modern warrior should think. I wonder. See, this is the type of thing I would do as an audiobook. Let's see if we have it as an audiobook somewhere. It does not appear to be available as an audiobook. I'm not seeing it as an audiobook. Maybe we could get somebody to do it as an audiobook, and then I can listen to it. I have heard that there's good money in audiobooks, in recording audiobooks. Maybe I should record it as an audiobook. I have no idea if my voice is the type of voice that people want to listen to audiobooks. Scott says, boom. Writing this book that I'm doing, it sounded easy. Because here's what I did. I went through all the Thursday episodes of Martial Arts Radio. I could hire someone to read it to me. I could do that. I absolutely could do that. Hire someone to follow me around and read me a book. Here's what I thought would happen with this book that I'm writing. I took a bunch of Thursday episodes that I felt had content relevant to a book, listed them out, had one of my assistants go through and build an outline for a book. Actually, build an outline for a book. Actually, I did the sections of the outline and had them put sections, flesh out the outline based on the episodes that I had chosen. And then I sit there, I printed out the outline, I take the subchapter, or the chapter, however you want to look at it, and I look at the outline, and I just go. I just riff based on the outline. And those sections are anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. And then I save it as a file, and I go on to the next one. Except it's a 32-page outline. It's like 65 sections. It's going to be like a 10 to 12 hour book. Which for an audiobook, I mean, that's not a super lengthy book. But it's not a short book. There's a lot of 6 and 8 hour books out there. But what I underestimated was how many of those I could knock out at a time. I'm aiming for one a day, which still has me taking like 3 months to do this book. What I probably should do is take my microphone, take my laptop, take my outline, go rent a hotel room, lock myself in it, and finish recording. Then I feel like I'm cheating on the rest of my work. I don't know. That's my audiobook process. All right, so homework. Homework in a second. Got 5 of you watching. Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jeremy in a Bathrobe. The discarded original title of this show. So we do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 Eastern on YouTube. I do shortly thereafter process an audiobook. I do shortly thereafter extract the audio, upload it. You can find that at any podcast app. It's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Stitcher, it's all over the place. If you want a website version, you can go to firstcupwithjeremy.com. And we've got all the old episodes available on YouTube and in the podcast version. So you can check all that out. It's just me and a cup of coffee. It's just me waking up to the world, answering some questions. So, wow, I rambled a lot today. Must have slept. All right, so here's your homework. Words. Here is your homework. I always try to tie them back to the questions. If you were to write a book, what would your book be about? What would you most want to share with the world? Would it be a fiction book? Would it be a nonfiction book? What do you have to share? Is it the story of your life? Is it nonfiction? And don't dismiss the exercise because you think you don't have anything to say. Oh, you could probably get a book out of your homework assignments for first cut, probably. There's a new one. We could take the homework on everything, and then everything could be a page. It could be a page of homework. There we go. Next book. I like it. Thank you. A lot of people would be dismissive of the idea that they have anything to say, to share in a book. Forget the fact whether or not someone will read it. There are a ton of terrible books out there, and many of them make bestseller lists. A book doesn't have to be good. And we've seen from martial arts radio that even average people have amazing stories to tell. But just spend a minute, maybe over your cup of coffee. What would your book be about? What would it say? What would you want to leave the world with as part of your legacy? And if you want to write that book, write that book. If you don't, that's totally fine. But just give it some contemplation. I'll see you back here tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. If you're in our area, enjoy watching everything turn green again as we get some rain. Thanks for coming by. Take care. Peace.